So most streamers out there usually use a USB microphone like I do, like the Samsung G-Track Pro. Might have made a little bit of noise, my bad. Or you might use something like a headset mic, which is mainly what we're going to focus on. But like this works for any microphone or really anything you use to record your voice. Because you can get a lot better quality from what microphone you have without really even realizing it, and it literally takes a couple of minutes to set up. Now with that being said, any microphone you have will like sound different compared to like your environment around you. If you're in a small room with empty walls, you might get a lot of echoes and background noises and stuff. If you're in a room with, let's say, sound panels or like a lot of furniture and perhaps like a relatively big room, you might not actually get that much echo. So just bear in mind, like, all of the stuff I'm going to show you isn't going to fix your problems exactly or make your mic perfect to your environment and your voice. It's just like a general idea of like what to change and how to change it. So with that being said, we're going to focus mainly on background noises, like let's say your fans from your PC if that's really close, your keyboard clicks, and maybe just stuff like this. Just vibrations in general, which right now my mic is standing on my desktop because this thing isn't quite set up yet. That's gonna change, don't worry about that, but yeah. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. If you're a streamer, you probably use Streamlabs OBS or OBS, so I'm going to show you some very simple settings you can just mess with inside those programs and make your microphone sound a lot better. Just a quick disclaimer, like all the settings I'm about to show you might not necessarily work for your mic. It's just like a generalized idea of what you can do to try to make your microphone sound better. Okay, without further ado, let's just jump straight into the settings. So the first thing that you want to do is open up OBS or Streamlabs OBS, whatever one you have, and find your microphone here and then go into the settings of the microphone. So click on the little settings wheel and then you go to filters. And from here you can see I already have the things I'm going to show you, which is essentially like the basics that will get you very far. I don't have this activated right now, but I'll show you. So if you click the plus sign, you can see all of these options, so you can just go in here and find them. But the first one is gain, and what gain basically does is that is pretty much just like a volume knob. So let's say your volume here is maxed out and your mic is still sounding very low. You could either go into Windows and into settings and choose a microphone and up it from there. Or you could do something very simple if you're happy with the volume on, like, let's say Discord or something, and you just want it to sound a little bit higher on stream. Click gain and just mess with this until you see your voice hitting this yellow bar, because that is essentially like where you want to be when you stream. Then we have noise suppression, which essentially helps you mitigate any noise that's around you. So if you have like a pretty good CPU, you could choose RNN noise. I just use Speaks and that works really fine for me, although I have a pretty good CPU. But you could just mess around with that if you want to, and then you just mess around with the suppression level and you kind of drag it wherever you feel like it's fitting. And at the end of the video I'm also going to do a comparison where I turn all these off and on, and you can like see the difference for yourself, because it's kind of hard to like just tell straight away. Then you have noise gate, which might look a little bit overwhelming, but this is just, let's say, this is very good for like removing any like keyboard clicks or anything like that. So it looks very overwhelming, but basically the idea here is you don't really have to mess around with these. You can kind of just keep them at what I have them on, and I think that's standard. I'm not too sure, I think it is. What's important to pay attention to is that you have close threshold to a lower number than open threshold. And then you can just mess around with these, but if like what you can do is use my settings as a starting point and then mess around with them from there. But this works very well for me and usually removes any keyboard noises and stuff. Then you have compression, which again looks sort of overwhelming as well, although it's not really. Again, you can just mess around with these and then keep this as like your general starting point and mess around, because like every environment is different, every mic is different, so this might not work for you, but I feel like it's a good starting point. This also just helps remove background noise and make voice more clear, pretty much. Then you have this, which is a plugin which you can use. So if we open this up, it looks like this right now, which might look a little bit overwhelming, but like it's not really. This is just EQ, which will make your voice sound a lot better and remove certain noises. You have much better EQ like programs or filters you can use, but just for streaming, if you just want if you're not very caught up in like the details, you can just use this. But yeah, like I said, this is a plugin, so I'll leave a link down below on how to download this, but after it's downloaded, you basically click the plus sign, and you should see this VS2X plugin right here. So you just click on that, click done, and it should show up. So after your plugin is downloaded and it shows up here, what you want to do is go down this list and select this option right here, standalone DLL, which should be close to the top, as you can see. So after you have selected standalone here, you open this plugin interface and it'll look like this. Now, this is EQ, which is basically gonna help you make your voice specifically sound a little bit better on stream. Now, like I said, every mic is different and every voice is different, so what you can do, as you can see down here, this is sound waves from your actual voice. So let's say you have like a very deep voice, you might want to like pitch this up a little bit, pitch this down. Yeah, but this is really just like something you can mess around with yourself until you find something you really like for your voice specifically. So as you can see, my voice is like relatively high, so I might want to like turn this down maybe a little bit, turn this up a little bit, like mess around with this. But again, that just really depends on how you want everything to sound, so you can just mess around with this until you found something you like. Also, all of these settings, I would just keep these the same, but you can also just mess around with these until you found something you like. That is really up to you. So yeah, and when you want this to be activated, you basically just press this icon for the clear difference. That was just really simple settings you can do inside Streamlabs OBS. There is also one other thing I want to show you. So if you jump straight back into Streamlabs OBS, you can go to so again, when you're inside Streamlabs OBS, one thing you can do before you actually go to filters is click on your settings icon in the bottom left, and then go to audio. And if you have like a pretty decent USB microphone, you can set this to 48 Hertz. And also, if you don't see your microphone down here, just click on this until you find your actual microphone, which should be here. Like I said, there is a lot else you can do. You can go and download Voicemeter, for example, which will really help your microphone with like more customized EQ settings and stuff, compressor settings. But if you're not too caught up in the details and just want your mic to not have any background noises and just make it sound a little bit more clean on stream, I recommend you just do those options inside OBS, because it literally takes you like a minute or two to do. Yeah, that's just a very quick way for you guys to make a microphone sound a lot better on stream, no matter which microphone you have. With that being said, I'll leave a link to everything down below. If you have any questions, leave that down below. And also, I'm gonna do a lot of like Twitch streaming related tutorials, so if you have any ideas or anything you want to see next, just leave a comment down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. Follow me on all social media down below. Take care and peace.